Hey everybody, how's it going? We're here with a timeless reading. Welcome. First card out is 3 of Wands. Second card out is 9 of Wands. Looks like there's somewhere you're trying to get to. You could feel like there's a little bit of a challenge here. Like a barrier to progress is what this feels like. Okay. This has to do with tuning in is what I'm seeing. But you could feel blocked a little bit from hearing. I'm seeing Page of Cups here. This is feeling like trying to get a sense of something, but having a hard time getting a sense of something. And it can be something that's not happening right now. So it can be like trying to tune into something that's at another point in time and feeling blocked from doing so. Like, let me just use an example. Let's say that like somebody invites you to hang out and there's this part of you that's like, I'm trying to like dial in right now. Am I feeling like that's something that I'm gonna want to do or something that I'm not gonna want to do? And you can feel like you're blocked from hearing what the answer is. Because 3 of Wands can be something that is like not technically happening right now. It can also be you like progressing upon a path but feeling like now at this point in the game there's some type of block, and it feels like something simple, like I should know how to do this or I should be able to connect and tune in, but for some reason it's difficult right now. I don't know what's making it hard to connect, but I'm definitely seeing a barrier. Okay. 3 of Wands would say you're making progress. 3 of Wands would say, look how far you've come. 3 of Wands can even be a card of recognition and like internal celebration of like what you've done so far, right? So if you tune into that, there can be a feeling of like, wow, look at where I am. But now 9 of Wands comes up and there can be a disconnect between like where you are and how you're feeling, or tuning into that, or hearing something that you need to hear. Because I'm seeing you be somewhere and it's like in this crowded space, right? And for some reason, like all of the other people are blocking out a message from coming through. So something is trying to come your way and it's something that's meant for you. It's something that you're meant to tune into, but it can be being blocked out by something. Like there's some type of barrier that's not allowing this thing to come through to you, but it's like it even is feeling like an urgent message that you need to listen to, like something that you're going to want to know, something that you need to hear, and that this wall, this barrier is like not allowing it to come through. What is this? I'm gonna see, maybe it's gonna come through anyway. Actually, I'm seeing Knight of Swords. I want to clarify the 9 of Wands. 9 of Wands would be whatever this block is, or whatever the struggle is, or whatever the challenge is to sort of get this to come through. It can mean too you're trying to advance further with something and you're having a hard time doing so. What is the 9 of Wands? I have to switch decks, hold on. What is the 9 of Wands? Haven't done this before. I'm seeing the Fool. Can mean a couple different things. It can be putting you in a situation that's a different type of situation, and you're gonna have to figure it out, but you may not have a go-to for what to do in a situation like this because you don't have the experience backing you, and so you just have to like try different things to figure out what's gonna work. Or it may be requiring that you put your faith into something, but it would sort of be taking a chance by doing so, having the Fool come out on the bottom of the deck. Seeing the Magician come out. Chaos. All right. Over here we have King of Swords and the Empress and the Fool. King of Swords is going to be about thinking about something. It can be talking about something. It can be processing something. It's connected with the air energy, so there's something mentally that's going on and something that you may need to do. Like this thought that I'm having, I need to take action on it. Like this thing that I wanted to say, I need to actually say it. Having the Empress is about using like the natural grace that you have in order to accomplish that and infuse it with the message that you carry. So this can mean that you're gonna have a conversation with someone, but you want to do it in a way that feels right to you. But the Fool showing up can be like, well, I've never talked about this with somebody before, or like I've never been in this type of mental situation. You know, King of Swords can be something that feels like a bit of a puzzle that you're trying to figure out too, where you need to show up and you need to be present in doing so, like properly processing and then taking action accordingly. I'm seeing here that you have experience, but having the Fool can mean that you don't have experience in this area, but you have another type of experience that you could potentially apply. And the Fool can also suggest too that you're just gonna have to wing it here. Like maybe you don't know exactly what you're doing, or maybe you're in a new, different, weird type of situation and you have to just take a chance and try something out and see how that goes. Test it out is what this is feeling like. Because you could be feeling like you're not being given the answer. I feel this again, like you're at a spot and you're waiting for your guides to call you and tell you what to do here, and for some reason like they can't get through. Like that's the test that's happening, that's the challenge, right? Like there's always something that's going on. It's like right now, so when they told you to get there, and then you expected that they would leave you a message, and you get there and there's no message, and there's no message that you can see coming, and so now you just have to figure something out on your own. So what are you gonna do? You have to be inventive, you have to be creative. I'm seeing the Magician, so it's like, what are you gonna do with this, right? You have a bunch of clay in front of you. What are you going to mold it into if you have to figure this out on your own? I do feel it again, like there's somebody that's supposed to be on the other line, but I'm getting like they're not. Like it's not that you're not on the line. I'm seeing you holding the phone up, but I'm getting there be a disconnection where it's like nobody else is picking up, like that type of thing. And you can be, again, like, what am I supposed to do? I was waiting for that call, like that type of thing. I wonder, maybe as well, like you're sweating about something, because some of you, this has to do about your future and where things are going, and you may need to do something like initiate contact. Like you're gonna have to take action, but it can be something you feel a bit uncomfortable with, but you have to do this. King of Swords means that you're gonna have to do something that has to do, like you're gonna have to reach out to somebody to communicate or to say something. Because a king is gonna mean initiating something, and because it's the King of Swords, it's gonna be to communicate. And the Empress is saying that like you have enough experience to be able to do this, but it may be a situation where you're like, well, I've never had to do something in this type of situation, and you just are sort of left to your own devices to figure something out here. The more that I'm looking at Three of Wands, Nine of Wands, and Page of Cups, just intuitively, the way that I'm reading these cards, it feels like there's something that's supposed to be happening or potentially gonna happen. This feels like it's concerning like future related things, and like somebody's supposed to email you or something like that, and for some reason like the email isn't coming through. It's feeling like that, like Page of Cups looks like it's supposed to be on its way to you, but I'm seeing there be something that's like blocking it and something that's getting in the way, and you're standing there like, what am I supposed to do? But to have the Magician underneath you, it's like you need to be creative in this situation and figure something out and do something. But it feels like you're sort of on your own a bit to figure this out. Like, what is the best way to work through this situation? To maybe even like penetrate the wall or the thing that's separating. Like if there's something here and you're on this side and something that you need is on this side, like how do you get through? Once you connect with whatever this is on the other side, I'm seeing you're going to be able to move forward. Six of Swords. So there had been unrest, but there's going to be rest. I'm seeing again, you have to do something. This can be too like, maybe somebody was supposed to reach out to you and they never did, and so you have to contact them. It's something like that. Like I think something goes a little bit backwards or something. Like it doesn't go as planned, or there's a delay, or something doesn't go through that's supposed to go through. So you have to take matters into your own hands. I think this whole time has been a challenge of how to tune in when it's difficult to tune in. Like, how do you make that connection when it's not like readily there? Like the lengths that you go to connect with this part of yourself, that is a compass, that is a guide for you, but an internal one. Especially at this point with where you are. Because you could feel like, I'm here now, like this should be an easy thing for me to do, and for some reason it's like fuzzy on the line, and having to strengthen that connection. Like go out of your way to do it, but in a way it feels simple, but it's something that is like so basic that it's necessary to the core function of something, is what this feels like. I'm seeing too something about not abandoning yourself through the process, because maybe there was the potential of having Sun and Seven of Swords feels like not fulfilling something that needs to be fulfilled, or not expressing something that needs to be expressed, something that matters to you. I'm hearing something that holds for you. Maybe something that sticks, something that's significant. I also feel like this is coming from a place of inaction, right? Because the Sun next to Seven of Swords is like not doing something that one is supposed to. So it can be like not clearly on the right track, you know, and going the way that one needs to go. And the Sun is about trusting oneself, it's about expressing yourself, it's about being an authority within your own life. It's like looking to yourself for the answers when need be. And it's also about knowing that you're the only one that's going to live your life, and if something isn't working, you need to figure it out and you need to address it. But the Sun and Seven of Swords is feeling like some type of confusion something that would get in the way of what you feel you're meant to be doing or supposed to be doing. This can even be thoughts that mess with you. Like, it doesn't need to feel like somebody out there, you know, like pushing you in the wrong direction. This can be like, I go to express myself, or I go to like say this thing and then I don't do it. Because I'm actually seeing Sun, now that I'm looking at it more closely, I'm seeing King of Swords be connected with the Sun. So this is you needing to authentically express yourself. Or do what makes you happy. It's especially not to hide, which is what the Seven of Swords would be doing. Because it can even be like falling back onto something that avoids when there's a new incoming situation, or when there's an unfamiliar situation. Like the part of you that may be like, let me see if I can get out of this, you know, that type of thing. Like, not participate instead of participate. But I'm seeing that like by showing up and by expressing yourself fully, there is a feeling of empowerment within that. Because it even feels like expressing the qualities that you feel like are your best qualities, and that things fall into place as you're doing that. But you could be in a situation that challenges that. Like, am I going to show up or am I not going to show up here? Looks like this is coming down to a mental block, but a mental block that can translate as, I'm trying to do something, or I have a vision here of what I'm trying to do. I am experiencing a block or a challenge or a barrier to doing that thing. Now, how am I going to get past that? And it's going to take tenacity. It's going to take you sticking with this. It's going to take you taking control here. Because Nine of Wands is like this thing that's getting in your way. Having Emperor be connected with it, it's like you moving it out of your way. Or you climbing up the steps that need to be climbed here. Like taking the steps that need to be taken. But the Emperor is this like knowing that you're the one that's steering the ship. And so if something is coming through and you were like, well, I was planning on going this way, and you can't, you have to find an alternate route. Instead of just being like, well, I guess I'm going to wait here for the wall to go down, and it never does. That's what this is feeling like. So if you're putting something on hold because some type of barrier has popped up, but you knew this was something that you wanted to be doing, like this is something that you're interested in, something you want to experience, like some vision that you've had of the future, of your future. You're meant to keep going with this. You have to take control of it. That's what I'm seeing be suggested here. But there could have been something that you weren't understanding. Again, like it's like your guides were sending you signs, but it was coming through in some type of confusing way. And then I'm seeing this moment of like understanding, like, oh, that's what they were saying. But they could have been speaking in some way that like wasn't properly translating before. Now it feels like I know what to do. I'm seeing where to go here, and I'm also seeing what was getting in my way of me moving forward. Because this could have even been something that you felt like was kind of kryptonite to you. The Empress and Seven of Swords can also be like, rather than doing something empowering, doing something that's the opposite of that too. Because the Empress is that part of you that's going to be receptive to whatever it is that's happening, and then figuring out what to do from there. And also it's your creative abilities too. Like when you're faced with some type of situation, how are you doing creative problem solving? But Seven of Swords can be like mental faculties going wayward, getting in the way of this, getting in the way of your process, and then being taken backwards because of that. I get this feeling of wishing upon a star here with the Fool and the Star. The Fool is about taking a chance with something in unfamiliar territory. seeing how it goes. It's like taking the shot, seeing if it goes in, but taking the shot rather than not doing so. And the star feels like whatever is meant to happen is then going to proceed from that point. Three of Wands and the star is you looking into the future. Both of these cards are connected with future things, or like things at a distance. And like where you feel like you're supposed to go, and like the route that you're following. And I see the star card too as sort of like the North Star that we follow, of like what calls to us and then following that path. And the Magician and the Fool, this is Mercury and this is Uranus coming together. Mercury is like your thoughts and your processing and your ideas that you have. Uranus is going to be these like inspired ideas that you get. These things where instead of thinking the way you normally do, Uranus comes through and is like, look at that thing you never saw over there, never realized over there. Like you can go that way instead, and it ends up working out perfectly. Uranus is like the crazy genius energy, and it's something that's like divine inspiration that comes. In that meeting with your Mercury, you're going to have these like out of the box ideas, and they may feel a little bit zany, but it's something that's being encouraged here. Especially because like sometimes you do need to color in the lines, but in this it's like there's nothing too far out, it seems, in this situation. But maybe you're going to do something that's like think in a different way than you normally think, but it can come through feeling like a channeled, inspired thought path, like train of thought that you get on, like that type of thing. And it's going to help you accomplish something here. Something that can feel like a barrier, like a challenge. But this will also challenge the way that you normally do things. It's asking you to expand and to persevere. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.